Let's just do it for people that are trying to figure this out like me. I'm not a lawyer. What's the difference between standard ideas of self-defense, like we learned in old cowboy movies, where all our life, you're allowed to defend your life and against serious bodily harm? How's that different than stand your ground?
Well, part of the reason we don't like stand your ground laws very much is that they're pretty much redundant of what you can already do under common law for about 400 years. Right now, if I go out into your parking lot and I'm leaving and I'm attacked, I'm allowed to use commensurate force. The aspect that changes is that if I can de-escalate the situation, I'm required to do that. If I can talk them down, if I can walk back into the building, I got to do that. And you want that in a society.
How do you know that there's a schoolyard fight? And we were in them. We had them in school.
Sure.
And a guy just wants to punch you a couple of times, get you to say, "Uncle, you lost, you won." He's not trying to kill you. He just wants to win the fight.
That's exactly right. It's one of the
how do you know when that wanting to win the fight, the matter of manhood, which guys grew up with, becomes I want to kill you?
Well, one way is to look at studies they've done in Florida about how this actually impacts real cases. In more than 30% of the cases where a stand your ground law was asserted and somebody ended up dying, they didn't even have a gun.
Well, what was the circumstance generally?
Well, very often somebody will come at you. They might want to have a fist fight. They might want to come at you with an axe handle, and somebody with a gun shot you dead. Now, where I come from...
Would you consider the guy with the axe handle armed or not?
Well, not with a gun.
No, I'd call him armed.
Well, I have a word for him. I grew up in Colorado where my dad was a gun dealer, and a guy who shoots somebody who has anything other than a gun when they could have done something else, like talk or fight with their fists.
Well, how do you talk to a guy with an axe handle? How do you talk to a guy with an axe handle?
You fight him. You run away. You de-escalate the situation. Right. I mean, that's the way it works.
But here's where the scales are tipped.